Great.
Hello, 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 and welcome to episode 110 of the Rent to Rent Success podcast. I'm so excited you're here today. This one could save you a lot of time and a lot of money. We are joined today by Jack Ray of Billing Better. And his company helps rent-to-rent businesses to organize the utilities into one single payment every month. So that sounds like heaven to my ears. And not only that, they'll give you the best utility price so that you know you're never paying more than you need to. And you'll get the payments and invoices on a per property basis so that it really helps with your accounting and your oversight. So welcome to the show, Jack Ray.
Hi, Stephanie. Thanks for having me.
It's my pleasure. It's amazing to have you with us. Now, tell us a little bit more about Better Billing. I'm always slightly skeptical of these companies and if it's really better than.
Yeah. No, you're not the first to say that. I mean, yeah. So we started the company 5 years ago, and it was born out of some frustrations that I had initially as a renter. And yeah, we look to help people now to across the kind of few different verticals, from rent to rent clients through to traditional letting agents, and then build to rent. But from a rent to rent basis, we look to try to simplify the management of utilities, and look to kind of be that go between from you having to set up all the bills, make sure you're on the best deals, and then ultimately deal with the payment side to it. So yeah, that's a sort of short snapshot of who we are and what we do.
Brilliant. Well, there can be a lot of admin in bills, transferring them all across council tax,
Yeah.
gas, water, electricity. Utility companies are just known for being slow
Yes.
and unresponsive and for getting things wrong and for taking a long time to sort out their mistakes and being slow to answer the phone. So when you've got one company to deal with, um, that can really help.
Yeah.
So what do you think makes better billing better than what people might be doing at the moment, which is dealing with each company
Yeah.
individually?
Well, I think there's two sides to that, and you kind of mentioned it at the top around the time and the money. So for you, growing a rent to rent business, you want to be focusing on A, delivering the best possible living experience for your residents, but B, trying to grow your portfolio of properties, and you know to spend often hours on the phone to suppliers is very counterproductive. So ultimately what we've tried to do is act as that kind of middle go-between party that looks to have all of the knowledge and experience of how to deal with these suppliers in a more efficient way, whilst giving you the kind of the technology gap that these suppliers have to show through our software where you are with all of your bills, and to make sure that everything is kind of all under one roof. So I suppose what you're saying is, without putting words into your mouth, the incumbent suppliers, have these processes that aren't great, because as a council tax local authority or as a water provider, you have no competition, you have no reason to be any better. So what we've done is we've looked at that and gone, okay, how can we build something that makes it a better experience for our clients, and and really kind of improve that kind of user experience around how to manage utilities. So yeah, that's I suppose what we're trying to do to kind of help with the time, and then from a financial perspective, and you mentioned it around sort of skepticism of how people deal with utilities, and that's so common. I find it all the time. It's an industry where people have a lack of trust. They don't trust suppliers. They don't trust the fact that their bills are going to go up without knowing about it, and that is something that is really difficult for us to try to combat. But little by little, I think we're getting there. But what we do is we look to ensure that you're on the best deals that we can find for all of your bills, and we're very transparent about that. We have these commercial relationships with suppliers that give us better deals than going direct. And then from a kind of way that we charge people on that trust and transparency element, we charge a single fee per property per month. That's £5 per property per month. And that's all very transparent. So the idea is that even with that £5, we're going to save you money. And as I've alluded to before, we're going to look to save you time. And that's our kind of two key takeaways of what we're trying to achieve.
And what I really like about your website is it's even the website itself, not as a customer, but it is really user friendly. And I really enjoyed that you have your team. People, you need to go to the about page. It's billingbetter.co.uk/about, and on the about page there is the team, including you've got a salmon catcher on there as well, haven't you?
Yeah, we've got our pets on there. So we've got my dog Rolo, the head of ham hunting, Matt's dog Barney, who's the chief chicken chaser, and then Tom's cat Arnie, who's the senior salmon sampler. So yeah, we tried to give utilities a bit of a fun edge if we can, and try and make it a little bit less boring, I suppose.
Yeah, and it's just a bit more people focused, and I think that's indicative of the way that you've set up the software to be, intuitive. It's
Yeah,
more people focused about creating an experience, because I mean that is something that's really compelling, to have one point of call for all the utilities, knowing that you're always going to be put onto the best deals, knowing you've got the one payment per property for everything. It really gives you that that oversight much
that's
more clearly.
That's it. Because the problem for a rent to rent business is that as you build your portfolio, if you're setting up the gas, electric, water, council tax, internet, TV, you've got 5 or 6 different services that you're going to need to set up for each property. And then as you take on more properties and those contracts end, you're going to have all of these worries in your mind. Am I on the best deal? Am I now paying more than what I was paying before? Are my margins impacted? And that's where we try to give that single visibility that you can't get by managing the bills yourself, without having I'm a big lover of spreadsheets. So I do love them, and you could do it on a spreadsheet, but you would still need to be knowing when your tariffs are expiring, if the suppliers are increasing their payments. So yeah, that's what we're trying to do, is to try to turn the tide of negativity towards utilities, which we may never do, but at least by maybe through us, you feel as though this is a nice company that are going to genuinely try and do the right thing and help you with dealing with the utilities.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a fantastic concept. And the other good thing about what you do compared with what I've heard about other companies doing is you actually include all of the what I call household bills.
Yeah.
So beyond the normal, what we think of as utilities, like the gas, the electric is included, the water is included, the council tax is included, the Wi-Fi is included. Did you say the TV is included? Is there
Yeah.
anything else included?
Well, ultimately, we've built the software to allow you to add any service into that single monthly
Yes.
payment. And right now, we are, as you say, we're doing those services. But
Yeah.
there's no reason in the future why we can't add other services. Netflix, if you want to give the house a Netflix account, we could do that. Or Amazon Prime, insurance services can go in there as well. So yeah, we're the only ones, as far as I'm aware, that are including council tax into that single monthly
Yes.
payment. And ultimately that can be a tricky one to manage, in terms of if you've got if you take on a property and you're doing some work to it, you might want to try and apply for a discount, and we can help with that. And then once you have residents moving in, we can then help to ensure that you're paying the right amount from that point onwards as well. So yeah, there's quite a lot of pain that goes on with that we feel we can really help with.
Yeah, no, it sounds amazing. So it would be great to hear, Jack, if you've got any case studies that you can tell us about of how people who either run rent-to-rent businesses or HMO portfolios have used Billing Better.
Yeah, sure. So we work with just under 30 clients in this space at the moment, and we have some clients who have 1 or 2 properties, and we have a couple who have got up to 100 properties. So I suppose to kind of break down, one particular example could be a HMO property client we have down in Portsmouth called Bunked. They manage a number of properties, and they're constantly taking on new properties. And one of their challenges is getting the bills set up when they take on a property, paying that kind of empty rate initially, and then helping them to ensure that the internet is installed for ideally before their tenants are going to move in, and then to have that single monthly payment once the residents are in, and the property is how they want it to be. So they're a really good example for us. They came to us when they had just a handful of properties, and now they've grown to a considerable amount. And I suppose for them, what we're able to do is within the portal, if you're looking at taking on a new property, when you're at the property, you can go into the portal, hit in the address and see how much that's going to cost you. So if you're trying to work out, how much am I going to make from this if I turn this from a 3-bed to a 4-bed and I charge this per room, how much is my mortgage going to be and how much are my bills going to be? We give that visibility straight away. And then because a good example of that is like in London, we were speaking before around, how the local authorities in London charge a lot more in different local authorities. So in Wandsworth and Westminster, you might be paying, anything from sort of £80 to £100, and Brent and other local authorities, you might be paying £180 to £200 a month. And if you know that before you take on a property, it might help with that decision-making process. It might not, but it might do.
So is this a service that's for your customers where they can put any address in and find out how much the bills will cost for that?
Yeah. Any client can do that. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds brilliant. Just for nailing it down to exactly what you're going to spend. We really teach that. You've got to analyze the deal to make sure that all your costs are in there, so that you can work out whether the deal works. And if you're watching or listening and you want to check that out, you can get the Rent to Rent Success Deal Analyzer at renttorentssuccess.com/deal analyzer. Okay, so let's talk about some of the secrets to success when it comes to what we're talking about, the administration and the billing.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you see people are not doing that they ought to be doing?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose the main one is around energy at the moment. So real hot topic right now in terms of gas prices going up. And I speak to, a lot of clients and prospective clients who feel as though, because they've been told for the last 5 or 10 years that they need to kind of be putting themselves onto a fixed rate for the next 2 or 3 years. Right now, and for the last 4 or 5 months, is a really dangerous time to do that because the gas prices are really high. So, one of the big things we're trying to sort of educate our clients and new clients with at the moment is, okay, if you're looking to save money on your gas and electricity bills, for a start, you can't go onto the main switching sites like Uswitch and Compare the Market right now because no companies are taking on new customers. So what you've got to do is work out, okay, with the suppliers I've got in the property, how do I get the very best available deal? And that is often through what's called the standard variable tariff, which is the tariff that you would be on when you move into a new property. And for the first time, that is the cheapest way to pay your bills, to be on that standard tariff rather than going to shop around and finding the best deals. So I would say that, yeah, right now, one of the kind of the big conversations we're having is, okay, let's ride this bit out, and this is the best deal we can get you right now. And we're told by all the energy suppliers that March, April, May time, things may start to stabilize, and then we can look again at finding the best deal. So that's the first point, and that's really relevant right now. I could probably go on for ages around all of the, some other bits, but yeah.
I'll come in because I like that one. What you said earlier is true. There's no property investors listening to the show, I can guarantee it, who are thinking, now let me get my spreadsheet out and look at all what deals are on and what tariffs and what's changing and what kilowatts and this and that. Nobody's thinking that. So everybody wants to just pay the best that they can pay for the service that they're receiving without having to do anything. And that's one of the things that you do, because you're doing that work and you actually know about it. You know whether it's better to, at this point in time, that it's better not to fix, and that at a point in the future it might be better to fix. And you know the difference between that, whereas we may not. And so I think that's the crucial area that you can be very helpful.
Definitely.
And so if people do want to find out more, Jack, what would be the best step for them to take next?
Yeah, so head to our website, billingbetter.co.uk, and then at the top of the website there's a link for Bills Inclusive, which is the product we offer for rent-to-rent clients. From there you can see quite a lot of information about how the platform works, and you can also book a no obligation demonstration with us. So if you want to have a look at it and find out more, then you can absolutely book a demo with us at any point there. This is me, so you can find me on LinkedIn and reach out as well if you want to have a chat there. But yeah, that's the kind of main 2 ways to get in touch.
Brilliant. So You can go to billingbetter.co.uk, bills-inclusive, and you can also catch Jack Ray. Isn't it an amazing name, guys? Come on, Jack Ray on LinkedIn. Jack, is there anything that I haven't asked you about that people need to know about Billing Better?
I think we've covered the main bits. I mean, I completely get the skepticism around using a third party to manage your utilities, but I think that where we are right now is people actually need help more than ever to understand exactly how to get the most out of dealing with their utilities. And now is a really good time to speak to us and look to see whether we can help, not just for gas and electricity, but as I say, for broadband and helping with those laborious water and council tax bills as well. So yeah, that's the only thing I would say is, try to, I suppose, maybe open your eyes to a product like this and others out there who are trying to, do the right thing and help people to manage this world of utilities.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's so needed because the utility companies have just, as we've discussed, not been great. So thank you for joining us today and talking about Billing Better. It just sounds an incredible concept and can deliver so much in terms of money saving and, more importantly, or as importantly as well, time saving, especially as you grow your portfolio. So thank you so much, Jack Ray, for joining us today and bringing us up to date with Billing Better. Remember, if you're watching and listening, you can find out more about Billing Better and also get a demo. Just go to billingbetter.co.uk/bills inclusive. This is for people who already are managing or owning properties. It's not for you if you haven't yet got properties under management or ownership. So, as well, thank you for watching and for listening, for joining us again today here on episode 110. Can you believe it? And just a reminder that if you want more and you want to get the whole Rent to Rent Success book on Audible and you're not on Audible yet, you can get it free at renttorentsuccess.com/audible. That's it for this week. Remember, believe bigger, be bolder, be a game changer. See you next week, guys. Bye for now.